Have you ever wondered what would happen if Austria and Italy had a secret love child that nobody talks about? Well, I found it. And it's hiding in plain sight on the Adriatic coast. While millions of tourists crowd Venice, Florence, and Rome, there's a city where James Joyce wrote his masterpieces, where you can sip coffee that makes Vienna jealous, and where castles overlook the sea like something from a fairy tale. This isn't just another Italian city, it's a living time capsule where three empires collided, creating the most unique cultural blend in Europe. I spent 2 weeks uncovering the secrets of Trieste, and I discovered underground Roman ruins older than the Colosseum, Europe's largest sea-facing square that rivals St. Mark's, and a coffee culture so intense it puts the rest of Italy to shame. But here's what will blow your mind. You can experience all of this incredible history, stunning architecture, and world-class culture for a fraction of what you'd spend in Venice or Rome. The secret I reveal at the end of this video will show you how to live like royalty in this Austrian-Italian paradise, while other tourists waste their money on overpriced, overcrowded destinations. Trieste is about to become your new obsession. Welcome to Trieste. I'm taking you inside Trieste, Italy's most misunderstood city, where Austrian elegance meets Italian passion in ways that will completely redefine what you think you know about European travel. This is the city that the tourism industry doesn't want you to discover because once you experience Trieste, you'll never want to fight crowds in Venice again. I've spent 2 weeks exploring every corner of this incredible city, from Roman ruins that predate most of Europe's famous landmarks, to castles that make Disney look amateur, from coffee houses where literary legends were born to underground secrets that most locals don't even know exist. By the end of this video, you'll understand why Trieste is being called the next Prague by travel insiders, why it offers better value than any major Italian city, and why this Austrian-Italian hybrid is about to become Europe's hottest destination. But first, let me tell you about the moment I realized Trieste wasn't just another Italian city. It was something completely extraordinary. Here's something that will blow your mind. Trieste spent more time under Austrian rule than Italian rule, and you can feel this incredible cultural fusion the moment you step off the train. The architecture isn't just Italian, it's a stunning blend of Austrian grandeur, Italian elegance, and Slavic influences that creates something completely unique in Europe. James Joyce didn't just visit Trieste, he lived here for over 10 years and wrote some of his most famous works in the cafes that still exist today. Imagine sipping coffee in the same cafe where Ulysses was conceived, surrounded by Austrian-style architecture that looks like it belongs in Vienna, while overlooking the Adriatic Sea like you're in the most exclusive Italian resort. The language here isn't just Italian. You'll hear German, Slovenian, and Croatian spoken fluently by locals who represent generations of cultural mixing. This isn't just multiculturalism, it's a living example of how different European cultures can blend to create something more beautiful than any single tradition. But here's the insider secret that locals don't want tourists to know. Trieste has the most sophisticated coffee culture in Italy. While the rest of Italy drinks espresso standing up, Trieste has Viennese-style coffee houses where you can spend hours reading, writing, and people-watching. The coffee here is so good that even Venetians make the trip just to experience it. The Austro-Hungarian influence isn't just historical, it's alive in every building, every street, and every cultural tradition. Walking through Trieste feels like traveling through time to an era when empires shaped Europe's destiny. Piazza Unità d'Italia isn't just Italy's largest sea-facing square, it's Europe's largest sea-facing square, and it will take your breath away. Imagine St. Mark's Square in Venice, but instead of being surrounded by buildings, one entire side opens directly onto the Adriatic Sea, creating views that will make you question why anyone bothers with Venice's crowded tourist traps. The neoclassical buildings surrounding this square aren't just pretty architecture, they're monuments to Trieste's golden age, when this was the fourth largest city in the Austro-Hungarian Empire and one of Europe's most important ports. The city hall, with its enchanting clock tower, looks like it belongs in Vienna, while the Lloyd Palace represents the maritime power that made Trieste wealthy beyond imagination. But here's what most tourists miss. This square transforms throughout the day in ways that create completely different experiences. At sunrise, you'll have it almost to yourself, with the morning light reflecting off the sea, and the Austrian-style buildings glowing like gold. During the day, it becomes a living theater where locals meet, tourists discover, and street performers create magic. At sunset, Piazza Unità becomes one of the most romantic places in Europe. The sea reflects the colors of the sky, the historic buildings are illuminated like palaces, and you'll understand why this square has been the heart of Trieste for over 200 years. Here's the insider tip that will save you money. The cafes around the square charge tourist prices, but walk just one block inland, and you'll find authentic Austrian-style coffee houses where locals go, serving better coffee for half the price while maintaining the same incredible atmosphere. The government palace isn't just a building, it's where the fate of this region was decided for centuries. And today it houses exhibitions that tell the story of how three empires shaped one incredible city. The Grand Canal in Trieste will make you forget about Venice's overcrowded waterways. This picturesque canal flows right into the heart of the city, lined with colorful buildings that reflect in the water like a living painting. But unlike Venice, you can actually enjoy this canal without fighting through crowds of tourists taking selfies. The gondolas here aren't tourist traps. They're working boats used by locals, and you can take rides for a fraction of what you'd pay in Venice while experiencing something equally beautiful and far more authentic. The canal is surrounded by restaurants and cafes where you can dine waterside without the inflated prices and tourist menus that plague Venice. But here's the secret that makes Trieste's canal special. It's not just decorative. This canal was the lifeline that connected Trieste to its inland territories during the Austrian period, and the buildings along its banks tell the story of merchants, traders, and adventurers who made this city one of Europe's most cosmopolitan ports. The fish market at the canal's end isn't just a market. It's where you can buy the freshest Adriatic seafood and have it prepared at nearby restaurants for prices that would shock anyone coming from Venice or Rome. I had the best seafood meal of my Italian travels here for less than what a basic pasta costs in tourist areas of major cities. The romantic atmosphere here rivals anything Venice offers, but without the crowds, without the inflated prices, and with the added charm of Austrian-influenced architecture that creates a unique aesthetic you won't find anywhere else in the world. The Roman theater in Trieste isn't just ancient ruins, it's a perfectly preserved amphitheater from the 1st and 2nd centuries AD that most tourists walk right past without knowing it exists. Built by Emperor Quintus Petronius Modesto, this theater predates many of Rome's famous landmarks and offers something the Colosseum can't. You can actually sit in the ancient seats and imagine gladiatorial contests without fighting through crowds. But here's what will blow your mind. Trieste's Roman heritage goes far deeper than just this theater. The entire city is built on Roman foundations, and you can see ancient walls, roads, and building foundations throughout the historic center. It's like Rome, but without the tourist chaos and with the added bonus of Austrian architecture built on top of Roman ruins. The Cathedral of San Giusto isn't just a church, it's built on the site of a Roman basilica that stood here in the 1st century. The facade incorporates actual Roman stones and decorative elements, creating a building that spans 2,000 years of history. Inside, you'll find mosaics and artifacts that tell the story of how Christianity replaced Roman paganism in this strategic location. The castle of San Giusto isn't just a medieval fortress. It's built on the site of the Roman Acropolis, where temples to Jupiter, Juno, and Minerva once stood. From the castle's walls, you can see the same views that Roman generals used to survey their empire's northeastern frontier. Here's the insider secret. You can explore most of these Roman sites for free or for minimal entrance fees, while similar experiences in Rome cost fortune and require hours of waiting in lines. Trieste offers authentic Roman history without the tourist industry markup. Miramare Castle isn't just a pretty building. It's a 19th century fairy tale come to life, built by Archduke Maximilian of Austria as a love letter to his wife Charlotte of Belgium. This white castle perched on a cliff overlooking the Adriatic Sea looks like something Disney would design if they had unlimited budgets and perfect taste. The story behind this castle will give you chills. Maximilian built it as their dream home, but he left to become Emperor of Mexico and was executed there in 1867, never to return to his beloved castle. Charlotte went mad with grief and never recovered. The castle stands as a monument to love, ambition, and tragedy that rivals any royal drama. But here's what makes Miramare special. Unlike most European castles that are just empty rooms with ropes blocking access, Miramare is perfectly preserved with original furniture, artwork, and personal belongings. You can see Maximilian's study exactly as he left it, Charlotte's bedroom with her personal items still in place, and the throne room where they plan to rule an empire. The park surrounding the castle isn't just gardens. It's 54 acres of meticulously landscaped grounds with plants from around the world, reflecting Maximilian's travels and botanical interests. Walking through these gardens feels like exploring a living museum of 19th century landscape design. The views from Miramare are absolutely stunning. You can see across the Gulf of Trieste to Slovenia and Croatia, reminding you that this castle was built at the crossroads of empires. On clear days, the views extend for miles across the Adriatic, and you'll understand why Maximilian chose this exact spot for his dream home. Here's the money-saving tip. Visit Miramare in the late afternoon when the light is perfect for photography, then stay for sunset when the castle and gardens are illuminated. The entrance fee is a fraction of what you'd pay for similar experiences at famous castles in other countries. Trieste's coffee culture will ruin you for coffee anywhere else in the world. This city doesn't just serve coffee, it has perfected the art of coffee in ways that make Vienna look amateur and put the rest of Italy to shame. The Austrian influence created a coffeehouse culture here that combines Italian quality with Viennese sophistication. Café San Marco isn't just a coffee shop, it's where James Joyce wrote, where intellectuals debated, and where the literary culture of Central Europe was born. Sitting in this historic cafe, surrounded by newspapers in multiple languages and the aroma of perfectly roasted coffee, you'll understand why Trieste became a magnet for writers, artists, and thinkers. But here's the secret that locals don't want tourists to know. Trieste has its own unique coffee vocabulary that's different from the rest of Italy. A capo here is what other Italians call a cappuccino, and the preparation methods have been refined over centuries of Austrian influence. The coffee here isn't just stronger, it's more complex, more nuanced, and served in an atmosphere that encourages lingering rather than rushing. The historic coffee houses here aren't tourist attractions. They're living institutions where locals still gather to read newspapers, play chess, and engage in the kind of intellectual discourse that made Trieste famous. You can spend hours in these cafes without anyone pressuring you to leave, experiencing a pace of life that has disappeared from most European cities. Illy Coffee, one of the world's most prestigious coffee brands, was founded in Trieste in 1933, and the company's headquarters are still here. The coffee culture in Trieste isn't just tradition, it's innovation, quality, and passion that has influenced coffee culture worldwide. Grotta Gigante isn't just a cave, it's the world's largest tourist cave, and it will make you feel like you've discovered the center of the earth. This colossal underground cathedral was carved by water over millions of years, creating formations so spectacular that they look like alien architecture. The stalactites and stalagmites here aren't just rock formations, they're natural sculptures that have been growing for millennia, creating an underground art gallery that rivals anything humans have ever created. The sheer scale of this cave is overwhelming. It's so large that it has its own weather system, and the acoustics are so perfect that concerts are regularly held in this natural amphitheater. But here's what makes Grotta Gigante special. It's only 15 minutes from Trieste's city center, making it one of the most accessible world-class natural wonders in Europe. While other tourists are fighting crowds at overrated attractions in major cities, you can experience one of nature's most incredible creations with minimal crowds and maximum impact. The temperature inside the cave remains constant year-round, making it a perfect escape during hot summers or cold winters. The guided tours reveal not just the geological history of the cave, but also how it was discovered and developed into the incredible tourist attraction it is today. The lighting inside the cave has been designed to highlight the most spectacular formations while preserving the natural environment. Walking through Grotta Gigante feels like exploring an alien world, and the experience will stay with you long after you return to the surface. Here's where Trieste becomes even more incredible. It's your gateway to 3 countries in one trip. Slovenia is literally 20 minutes away, Croatia is an hour's drive, and Austria is easily accessible by train. You can have breakfast in Italy, lunch in Slovenia, and dinner in Croatia, all in the same day. Postojna Cave in Slovenia isn't just another cave, it's a 24-kilometer underground network that you explore by underground train, making it one of the most unique tourist experiences in Europe. Combined with Miramare Castle, which is literally built into a cliff face, this day trip from Trieste offers adventures that most tourists never discover. The Istrian Peninsula in Croatia offers some of Europe's best-kept secrets. Hilltop towns that rival Tuscany, truffle hunting experiences that compete with France, and coastal beauty that makes the French Riviera look overpriced. All of this is accessible from Trieste as day trips or short overnight excursions. But here's the money-saving secret. Using Trieste as your base for exploring this region costs a fraction of what you'd spend staying in Venice, Ljubljana, or Zagreb. The hotels here offer Austrian-level service at Italian prices, the restaurants serve cuisine influenced by 3 different culinary traditions, and the transportation connections make it easy to explore multiple countries without the expense of changing accommodations. The cultural diversity you'll experience using Trieste as your base is unmatched anywhere else in Europe. You can experience Italian passion, Austrian efficiency, and Slavic hospitality, all within a few hours of each other. Trieste's food scene will revolutionize how you think about Italian cuisine. This isn't just pasta and pizza, it's a fusion of Italian, Austrian, and Slavic culinary traditions that creates flavors you won't find anywhere else in the world. The seafood here comes directly from the Adriatic and is prepared with techniques influenced by 3 different culinary traditions. The result is dishes that are familiar enough to be comfortable but unique enough to be exciting. I had the best seafood risotto of my life here, prepared with Austrian precision and Italian passion. But here's the secret that food lovers need to know. Trieste's Austrian influence means the pastry and dessert culture here rivals Vienna. The strudels, Sachertortes, and coffeehouse pastries are authentic Austrian recipes that have been perfected over generations, served in settings that make you feel like you're in a Habsburg palace. The wine culture here is incredible because you're at the intersection of Italian, Austrian, and Slovenian wine regions. The local wines reflect this diversity, offering varieties and flavors that you won't find in traditional Italian wine regions. The wine bars here serve selections from 3 countries, creating tasting experiences that are both educational and delicious. The prosciutto di San Daniele served here isn't just Italian ham, it's prepared using techniques that combine Italian tradition with Austrian precision, creating a product that's more complex and flavorful than what you'll find in most Italian cities. Paired with local cheeses and wines, it becomes a culinary experience that represents the best of Central European gastronomy. Here's the money-saving secret that will change your Trieste experience. The aperitivo culture here is more generous than anywhere else in Italy. For the price of a drink, you get access to buffets that could serve as dinner featuring local specialties, Austrian-influenced dishes, and Adriatic seafood. I had some of my best meals in Trieste during aperitivo hours, spending less than what a single course costs in Venice or Rome. The markets here reflect the cultural diversity. You'll find Italian vegetables, Austrian breads, Slovenian honey, and Croatian olive oils all in the same market, creating shopping experiences that are like culinary tours of Central Europe. Trieste's history isn't just beautiful palaces and coffeehouses, it includes one of the most important and sobering historical sites in Europe. San Saba concentration camp isn't just a museum, it's the only Nazi concentration camp in Italy with an intact crematorium, serving as a powerful reminder of the darkest chapter in European history. This site is crucial for understanding how World War II affected this region differently than the rest of Italy. Trieste was under direct German administration, and San Saba became a transit point for thousands of people being deported to extermination camps. Today, it serves as a civic museum that honors the memory of those who suffered while educating visitors about the importance of never forgetting. The Revoltella Museum isn't just an art gallery. It's housed in a 19th century palace that tells the story of Trieste's golden age, when Baron Pasquale Revoltella was one of Europe's most influential businessmen. The museum combines period rooms that show how the wealthy lived during Trieste's peak, with modern art collections that represent the city's continued cultural importance. But here's what makes these historical sites special. They're not overcrowded tourist attractions. You can experience these important pieces of history with the time and space needed for reflection and understanding, something that's impossible at similar sites in major tourist cities. The stories these places tell aren't just local history. They're European history, world history, and human history that shape the world we live in today. Here's what tourism websites don't tell you. Trieste is incredible year-round, but each season offers completely different experiences that most tourists never discover. Winter Trieste is magical in ways that summer visitors never experience. The Bora wind, which can reach speeds of up to 200 kilometers per h, creates dramatic weather that transforms the city into something from a romantic novel. The coffeehouses become cozy refuges where locals gather to wait out the storms, and you'll experience the authentic Austrian-influenced culture that defines this city. Spring brings the city to life with festivals that celebrate its multicultural heritage. The streets fill with music, food, and celebrations that reflect Italian, Austrian, and Slavic traditions. The weather is perfect for exploring, the crowds haven't arrived yet, and the prices are at their lowest. Summer is when Trieste shows its Mediterranean side. The Adriatic becomes warm enough for swimming, outdoor cafes extend their seating into the squares, and the long days reveal the city's beauty in perfect light. But here's the insider secret. Even in peak summer, Trieste never gets as crowded as Venice, Florence, or Rome. Autumn is when the city shows its most sophisticated side. The cultural season begins with theater productions, art exhibitions, and concerts that reflect Trieste's position as a cultural crossroads. The wine harvest season brings festivals and tastings that showcase the region's incredible diversity. But here's the ultimate seasonal secret. Trieste's location protects it from the extreme weather that affects other parts of Italy. The summers are cooler than Rome, the winters are milder than Vienna, and the shoulder seasons offer perfect weather for exploration. Now I'm going to reveal the money-saving secrets that will transform your Trieste budget from expensive Italian vacation to affordable Central European adventure. Accommodation in Trieste costs 50 to 70% less than equivalent hotels in Venice, Rome, or Florence, but the quality is often higher because of the Austrian influence on service standards. You can stay in historic palaces converted to hotels for less than what basic rooms cost in major tourist cities. Transportation is incredibly affordable because Trieste is compact and walkable. Most attractions are within walking distance of each other, and the public transportation system is efficient and inexpensive. You can explore the entire city for days without spending significant money on transportation. The museum pass isn't heavily marketed to tourists, but it provides access to multiple attractions for a fraction of what individual tickets would cost. This pass includes the castle, museums, and even some guided tours, making it one of Europe's best cultural bargains. Restaurant prices are significantly lower than other Italian tourist destinations because Trieste doesn't have the tourist industry markup that plagues Venice, Florence, and Rome. You can have world-class meals for prices that would shock anyone coming from major Italian cities. The free attractions in Trieste are incredible. The Roman ruins, many churches, the waterfront promenade, and several parks and gardens don't charge admission. You can have amazing days of exploration without spending money on entrance fees. Here's the ultimate money-saving secret. Trieste's location makes it an ideal base for exploring multiple countries without the expense of changing accommodations. You can take day trips to Slovenia, Croatia, and Austria while maintaining one hotel base, saving hundreds of euros on accommodation costs. Trieste isn't just a city you visit, it's a city that changes how you think about European travel forever. This is where you'll discover that the best experiences aren't always in the most famous places, that cultural fusion creates more interesting destinations than cultural purity, and that sometimes the most incredible adventures are hiding in plain sight. I've watched travelers arrive in Trieste thinking they're just making a quick stop on their way to Venice, only to extend their stays and completely change their itineraries because they've discovered something more authentic, more affordable, and more interesting than anything they expected. The confidence you'll gain from discovering a destination before it becomes mainstream will change how you approach travel forever. The cultural experiences will broaden your perspective on European history and identity. The money you'll save will allow you to travel longer and explore more. Trieste teaches you that the best travel experiences come from curiosity, not from following crowds. It shows you that authentic culture still exists in places that haven't been transformed by mass tourism. It proves that incredible adventures are waiting for those brave enough to explore beyond the obvious choices. This city doesn't just offer beautiful sights, it offers a different way of thinking about what makes a destination worth visiting. So here's my challenge to you. Don't just add Trieste to your Italian itinerary. Make it the centerpiece of a Central European adventure that will redefine what you think travel can be. Use the insider secrets I've shared, explore beyond the main attractions, and give yourself enough time to discover the Trieste that guidebooks are just beginning to mention. Plan at least 4-5 days to really experience the city and take day trips to Slovenia and Croatia. Stay in the historic center to be walking distance from everything. Download the local transportation app and get the museum pass. Most importantly, spend time in the coffee houses and talk to locals who are proud to share their unique city with curious travelers. Which of these Trieste secrets surprised you the most? Drop a comment below and tell me what you're most excited to experience. I read every comment and love helping people plan their Central European adventures. If this video changed how you think about Italian travel, smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell. I'm constantly discovering hidden gems like Trieste that offer incredible experiences without the tourist crowds, and I want you to be the first to know about them. Trieste is waiting to surprise you, inspire you, and show you that the best European adventures are still hiding in plain sight. The question is, are you ready to discover Europe's best-kept secret?